show some energy because the next is going to be an awesome event. Our next event is the much awaited keynote speech.
Our speaker is an internationally renowned Saudi media personality.
Currently, he is the chairman of Al Bilad Organization for Press and Publication.
Previously, has been the editor-in-chief of Arab News and Saudi Gazette English newspapers, a news anchor and talk show host on Saudi television, as well as a radio announcer.
Political and sports analyst, and was honored with the highest civilian award, SATAC' Pakistan, in 2008 by the Pakistani government.
He lectures at several international universities.
The king of the king of English media, and soon to be social media soon, in the Gulf, it's our absolute most honor to welcome on stage Mr.
Khaled
Almaeena. Welcome on stage. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Did anyone understand what I was saying? They asked me to speak about communication. So, and how can I speak about communication when all of you are Toastmasters? I'll be roasted by you guys. But then again, what I said, I'm here when I didn't speak because of him. So communication takes many forms. And what communication is the art of relaying and exchanging information. And it's very important that we get this communication right. Nowadays, you have communication for the impaired of speaking, for those who can't see. So it's very important that whatever form of communication we use, it should be very clear. The main thing is, what we could do is, in communication, there should be wisdom. There should be eloquence. There should be clarity. You can speak what you want. As somebody said, that this gentleman is talking, but am I hearing? It's very important for us in that form of communication to speak. Now, so many things have happened. Wars have started because of the lack of understanding of what somebody said. Give you an example, and for those who know, in 1990, the American ambassador, April Glaspie, met Saddam Hussein, who told her very indirectly that he might go for a picnic in Kuwait. And she said, go for the picnic. I mean, not in so many words. But he understood it wrong and he invaded Iraq. It's a true story. So he invaded Iraq, and thus, we became famous in the Arab news, all of us, because we were the first people to cover. So faulty communication created a crisis which made other people famous in the media. Christian Amanpour became famous, then other people came in. So it's very important that whatever words we use, there should not be a negative reaction and a negative react. Other thing in communication, sometimes people talk and the other doesn't listen. Sometimes you use things, and especially dictators and those in power, we become what you call minions and serfs. Sometimes, like, somebody says something, and in order to please him, without understanding and without knowing, we do something. King Henry VIII, when he said, who will get rid of this meddlesome priest, he did not mean that the priest would be killed. Somebody was bugging him. So the knights of the court went and killed Becket. So these important things, that whenever somebody speaks, you have to listen very carefully. And in order to speak, you have to be nice and kind. In Surah Al-Imran in the Quran, it is said, I think, and the translation, if you are not well and rude, and all people will not flock to you. It's talking about the Prophet. You have to be nice, you have to be eloquent, so that you will relate to them. Many other examples in history. One of them was Stalin, who was the dictator in the Soviet Union. He gave his secretary a piece of paper with 9 names. This is a true story. And he just gave it to him without communicating anything. 2 days later, he asked the secretary, where are they? I invited for them dinner. And the secretary said, sir, I thought you wanted them to be executed. So 9 innocent people lost their lives because of lack of communication. Well, a recent thing happened. I'm a marriage counselor, by the way. So, and I, seriously, and I charge a cup of coffee. So if anybody wants to, have marriage counseling, I see 2 hands from 2 women. Any men also on the other side? Somebody? So anyway, a man came and said his wife is not speaking to him for about 5 months. What happened? He gave me the reason, which I cannot say. So I was thinking how to help him. And I don't know why he came to me, because I'm a layman. I'm not a professional. If they find out and somebody is recording this and filming this, I'll get in trouble. So don't film it, like the gentleman said before. But you have my permission. But anyway, he came to me. It was the 12th of February. So I sat down. I didn't know what to do. How can you make his wife and he get together? So I said, come, I'll play Cupid. You know what Cupid is. So I went and brought 2 red T-shirts, because after 2 days was the 14th, which was February, Valentine's Day. One I wrote her name, I love her, and one I wrote his name. And I said, when you go, give her the one with your name, and and let her wear the other one. He said, no, but how I can do? She may not understand. I said, please do it. Honestly, he went in the evening. I had to pay 126 riyals to Batil to buy the box of chocolates, but this is lillah, and this is a charity. I gave him the thing. He went, and mashallah, they're having the best of relations since February. I don't know when he'll come back to me again. But I'm not going to spend 126 riyals. But this is another form of communication. Even in Islam, you have to take care of up to the 7th neighbor. How do you do this? You don't do it by just walking without saying hello, you treat them, you talk nice to them. So communication is the key to any form of relationship. We talked about the husband and wife. People grow up not even realizing what their children want, what are the needs of the children. I have a friend whom Mr. Ram knows about, came to me and said, my daughter is getting engaged. I said, you must be happy, man. He said, no, I'm unhappy a bit because she's getting engaged and she's going to leave the house. And for years, I didn't have a direct talk. I didn't take her. So I said, if you can afford it, take them for a railway journey across Europe with this 5-star, what do you call? They call it the Iron Star train. Reasonable. You can try it. He went and he came back and he said that was the best. My daughter and I bonded. And alhamdulillah, before she married, she and I discussed so many issues. There was the case of another man whose daughter, and this is very important for people who are parents because we take things for granted, whose daughter was getting married, so he took her for a drive. And he said to her, did you have any boyfriends? And the daughter said, yes, I had a boyfriend and I loved him. So the father was upset. What do you mean you had a boyfriend? She said, yes. Baba ka ana andi sadiq, in Arabic she said. She said, who is your boyfriend? She said, you. You were my father, you my brother, you my boyfriend, you my companion. So this is another form of communication between father and daughter. So she said, if I have somebody like you who gives me quality time, why should I go and look at a hooligan or a ruffian or somebody who throws a piece of paper to me in the mall and says, call me? These are other forms of communication that can be truly inspiring. So communication is not about technology and all. It's also about human relations. It's very important that we try to focus on the human aspects of relation. It is not from up to down. It's from side to sideways. We have to start. We talk. I know a guy who talks about communication, who's a psychiatrist, but his house is a wreck because he treats his wife badly, but he advises other people. But I'm a good marriage counselor, so don't worry about that. I mean, I have 4 people who can attest to my goodness. Another joke. But anyway, important. But to be a good communicator in any language, you have to know the language. What they do now in Europe, if there's a political case, and unfortunately after 9/11, the Arabs and the Muslims came under heavy attack, they would bring a fantastic white boy. No white boys here? I think I'm the only one. So, and they would bring somebody who doesn't speak well, he's not, and طبعا he's trashed in the debate. Important that you enter a debate, go to an office to be prepared. The usage of language, the links that you use, the similes, the metaphors should be very important when you communicate with somebody. You know, he would be speaking Greek, you would be answering in Chinese. No, it's important to have a platform that is okay for you. And communication decreases, tension between people. If you notice always in hostage crisis, bank robberies where the hostages are there, the negotiator is sent not only because of his usage of words, but because of his psychology. It's very important to understand, sympathize, have empathy for the other. But I focus, because I deal with family issues, it's important for us to start with our own selves. So everybody who will leave here, go to his house, get in with a smile. Maybe the wife will say, what happened today? Because he has not been smiling to her, or the husband will say, what have I done? Important that we communicate. Read, iqra. So we read and we understand what's happening. It's very important. At the same time, communication between people. It is written, وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ. We have made you nations and peoples and tribes so that you get to know each other. The best among you who is pious. How can I be best? If I am good to him, if you are good to him. How can we do that? Because if we truly use words that are soothing, that are calming, that do not upset others, this is a form of communication. You can be a great leader, but you can be a poor communicator. The same thing happened. I'm relating historical anecdotes because you will understand how wars were fought. When Neville Chamberlain, the Prime Minister of England in 1938, I think, went to meet Hitler, and Hitler gave vague promises without communicating, Chamberlain came and said that famous piece of paper, peace at hand. 6 months the world was at war. So you see, this is very important. When you do not understand, try to find out what the man is saying. Like in the morning when I just came and pointed these points. And also when I communicated to Mr. Beg that my fees for speaking was 5,000 riyals, he thought it was 5,000 Filipino pesos, which is 200 riyals. So again, there was no communication. And of course, I didn't ask. I'm just trying to tell you that whenever you give figures, whenever you give timing, you have to be precise. So these are the issues. Again, now technology has replaced. Gone are the days when you would write letters to your family members. People have, forgotten the art of writing. In Arabic, it is worse because everything. The other day, and this is a few years ago, I went to a place and I bought a sandwich. And the man said, safari. I said, safari? Ish hada safari? I couldn't understand what safari. Wala sayyifu. Save it, sayyifu. So all these new words have come in, and it's broken the back of the Arabic language because these words are very alien. Even in English, you say in the States, Americans will say, all systems are go. So if you go to England and tell an Englishman, all systems are go, he won't understand. He might think the computer system. But all systems in America means everything is all right. Everything is perfect. So these kind of issues, whenever we communicate between different cultures, between different languages and all, there is the common language. English could be Arabic between the Arab world. Even in the Arab world, the Arabic that is used here is different from the Arabic that is the colloquial Arabic. different in Tunis. In Tunis, I went with my mentor, Sheikh Muhammad Ali Hafiz, and we went to a restaurant. And the woman came and said in Arabic, أعطيكم مداس. And the way she said it, I thought madas was a shoe. Madas means a slipper. Madas is a fish, you know. And then I made the mistake of going in the market and I told them zambil. Zambil, I remember in Shara' Gabel with my father and mother, I used to carry the zambil and put this. And the woman started laughing. So Muhammad Ali Hafiz said to her, ليه بتضحكي? She said, zambil is only for donkeys. So you see, even that, these are the kind of things we have to understand. But we are not supposed to know all these things, but whatever we do, we have to be careful while we are communicating. And as I said, I mean, we have international Toastmasters, and they're there to take their place. I'm glad I came in big, and Manikar and others invited me. And it's always good for me to see people of different cultures, different backgrounds, different creeds come in. I'm a great advocate of people converging. We are all brought by the same God. We are here to live, to help make this world a better place. And on the day of judgment and the final day, you know, those who enhance the quality of life on earth will be the people who will be rewarded more. Thank you.
Can you still stay on stage, please? Yes, with the check. Please give a huge round of applause to the amazing Mr. Khaled Almaeena. We just had 15-20 minutes to hear the words of wisdom, but if you want to know more about him, you can subscribe him on his social media handles. You can take a picture and you'll get even much more nuggets of gold. We have our district director and district director-elect on stage who will be giving their love and appreciation through a momentum through our keynote speaker. And the SATAC chairman, please. Thank you so much. So this plaque of appreciation from District 104. District 104 presents a token of appreciation to Mr. Khaled Almaeena in recognition of his valuable time and contribution as a keynote speaker at SATAC 2023, Saudi Arabian Toastmasters Annual Conference on 19th and 20th May at Hotel Ramada. Thank you so much. I'll ask the district-elect to hand over and the district director, please.
Yeah.
And the Toastmaster check.
As a District 104 honors Mr. Khaled Almaeena with small token of appreciation because he is a former editor-in-chief in Saudi Gazette as well as in Arab News. So small diary for him. So he will ask me how I will write without pen. So I am going to give the pen also. Then he has to remember what is the tagline of Toastmasters International. So I am giving this small banner to him. He cannot be able to carry this banner elsewhere. So I am giving this pin also.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, please. Bad communication.